Okay, so there are 3 steps to analyzing a statute. You got to read the whole thing, break the controlling parts, the on-point parts into elements, and then 3, use the definition section to define anything. And honestly, you can do these steps in a lot of different orders, but I just kind of like to read the big picture of the act and see if there isn't something more important than what I have found. So to do that, use the table of contents. So step 1 we accomplish by doing the table of contents. So here on the Florida Statutes website, let me make this a little bit bigger. You see that we're down here in section 3, limitation on liability for equine activity. But we can see from the table of contents here all of these different sections. And so we would need to read all of those different sections and understand them. And so that's pretty much, step 1. And we really do need to understand all of these sections. For purposes of this video, I just want to show you, the kind of the basic idea of doing that and how to do that. Like, and if you're in Lexis and you're looking at the on-point statutory section that you found, you'd click on table of contents. Now, by the time you watch this video, Lexis may have changed their screen and what this looks like, but they will always have table of contents, and so look for the table of contents. Same thing with Westlaw. Sometimes they have the word table of contents as a button. Sometimes they'd have just these 3 little horizontal lines right here, and that's the table of contents. So things change over time, but the idea is use the table of contents to read the entire act. Okay, now let's do step 2, where we need to take our controlling section, that's section 3, and break it up into elements. This is unlike in law school where they give you these cute prepackaged elements. In real life, you have to figure them out. So here's the statute. The first sentence there is just the consequences. That's what you get if you prove everything. So that's not an element. But then these other things are an element. The equine activity sponsor, professional person, provided the equine failed to make, and so forth. Now, I like to put these in list form like this, because then you can methodically go through each one. And then each element brings up a new question. And you can see the questions here as I put them up on the video. Like there's a big one, is marching in a parade in equine activity. Okay, so those are the elements. Okay, so now let's do step 3 of analyzing a statute, which is to use the definition section to define any of the elements. And on the official website, it's pretty easy because the definition section is right at the beginning here, which is usually the case. We didn't have to click on table of contents or anything like that. I just want to show you very quickly in Lexis, you click on table of contents and then just click right here on the definition section, and then it'll pull up the exact same definition section that we have. And in Westlaw, same thing, click on the table of contents, which was right over there, and then definitions. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the original here. And of all of the elements that we came up with, we see here that equine activity is defined. So that was one of our questions. And here it specifically says that parades are included as an equine activity. So that element would be met. And then let's see what other... Okay, equine professional means a person engaged for compensation in instructing and renting to provide daily care to train an equine. So that one would be met as well. So we've got at least 2 of the elements are defined here. Now, for the other elements that are not defined, we would go to the 4th step of the research process and search in case law for those. And of course, here on the official statute, we can't access those, but on Westlaw and Lexis, we could just go to notes of decisions, and here it's citing decisions in Lexis and do that. But you'll learn more about that in 3.9 of Research the Law when you learn about annotations. Okay, so I'll see you then.